Boxing pound for pound rankings coming off of Beterbiev versus Bivol at Saudi Arabia. A bit of a shift in this one. And so this is, I kind of had to preface this last week with the UFC because there was a controversial decision in the Raquel Pennington-Juliana Pena fight. Even if you disagree with the scoring, for pound, in my opinion, I think you have to just go with what the results are on paper. If you want to matchmake based off of how you think the fight should have gone, or how the judges should have done it, that's fine. But I think for actual real life rankings, I think you have to kind of follow what the results say. So coming in at number 10, I have Teofimo Lopez. Still a couple of gigantic wins and maybe a couple of stumbles along the way as well. But I still think that the resume is there at number 10. At number 9, it is David Benavidez. The only way he really gets to move up is if he finds his way into better competition. And Lord knows, this is not a knock on him for dodging anyone. It is a knock on people above him. Check Alvarez, Canelo, and not giving him the opportunities to move up or to test his skills in those ways. At number 8, it is Devin Haney. It felt like there was a few times where you go through, oh, what about this guy? Why don't I have, we lost to Haney. Okay, well, what about, we lost to Haney. Well, okay, he's beat enough guys who are supposed to be on this list. Why don't I put him on this list? Still one of the best fighters in the sport. At 7, it's Dmitri Bivol. So he falls down a couple of spots based off of a loss to Artur Beterbiev. He still has the win over Canelo Alvarez, so you have to still keep him on this ranking, even though that is a smaller fighter moving up. But still, a loss to a guy who was basically tied with him in the pound-for-pound rankings, I don't think should drop him out of the top 10. At 6, it's Gervonta Davis. He does move up just based on the Bivol loss. One of the guys who is in contention for face of the sport, so to speak. At 5, it's Canelo Alvarez. For the first time in a while, I have really bumped Canelo down in the rankings. I just feel like this last fight against Berlanga, I think has to move him down a little bit more. And when you have a guy in Beterbiev, so spoiler alert, he does move up. When you have a guy in Beterbiev who is going out and fighting another guy who is basically tied with him in the pound-for-pound rankings and unifying a championship, I think that guy has to go over Canelo when Canelo had the opportunity to fight someone on this list and decided to go with Berlanga, who was barely a top 10 fighter in his own weight class. So that is the knock against Canelo. And again, I get no joy in this because I am such a huge Canelo fan, but I think it had to be done. And so obviously at 4, it is Beterbiev. You can say what you want about how the judges should have or could have or would have scored that fight. What they did score it was in favor of Artur Beterbiev. And so now he continues to wake up as the undisputed light heavyweight champion. And a win over a top 10 fighter gets you up into the top 4. At number 3, it's Terence Crawford. That is going to be a tough one to knock off after the amazing performance he had over Errol Spence Jr. I do think, again, some of the talk of him moving up, even beyond where he tried in August, is a little bit premature, and would like to see him slowly do that, even though we are getting towards the end of the career here. I think that might be a step too far, but for now, dominant performance against Errol Spence Jr. in the biggest fight of the year keeps him at number 3. At 2, it's Alexander Usyk after countless wins at heavyweight, cruiserweight, and all of that, and a win over Tyson Fury. I think you have to keep this guy at number 2. And at number 1, it is Naoya Inoue, one of the most dominant fighters in this sport. And no matter what weight class he goes to, no matter who he is fighting, that power follows him wherever it goes, and he is just an absolute wrecking ball. And if you have not watched this guy fight, because most of his fights are in Japan at 2 in the morning, 2 in the morning our time, not 2 in the morning Japan time. If you can watch this guy fight, please do it. Go find any YouTube clip of this guy, because he is just one of the best fighters of this era, and I still, obviously giving him credit here, number 1 in the pound-for-pound rankings, but I think that this guy does not get the attention and love he deserves because of just how damn good he is as a fighter. So that's the homework for today. Go out, YouTube Naoya Inoue, and watch him just be an absolute wrecking machine at a bunch of the smaller weight classes.